Alright, what up YouTube? Doomnyc here with another deck update. This is an update to the FlamvellSworn deck that I had made a long time ago. I actually picked it back up again and started playtesting it over the last day or two. Honestly, it's really good because there's new aspects to the deck that makes it extremely playable. So, yeah, let's get started with the main deck. Alright, so first off, we got two JDs, not three. I found that two seem to be more consistent with the build because it doesn't run as many Lights Ones as, say, a regular Lights One deck. So two seems to be really good. So just play it at two. One Gores, and Gores is extremely good. Gores is always live in his deck, like no matter what, and you'll see why when we get to the end of the deck profile. So we got one Jane, one Garroth, one Lila, one Wolf, the single Wolf. It's interesting because a lot of people might say, well, why play one? Why not play? It's just really to have the extra name in the grave for Judgment Dragon, plus the surprise factor. When this guy gets milled, like your opponent, every time a wolf gets milled, you guys know if you play against Lightsworn and your opponent mills a wolf, you're like, damn, you really hate that. It's really good for that reason that it can be special summon. I don't play Celestia in the deck. I find that more times than not, it will get milled, and it just serves only the purpose of being another name in the grave, as opposed to Wolf getting milled and then special summoning itself. It's really good. One Aaron, one Arcus, one Lumina, and one Raikou. So that's pretty much the Lightsworn engine. As you can tell, it's just one of each. So I play 8 different Lightsworns, and usually that's a good amount to get to bring JD on the field, because anytime I draw a JD, I can usually summon it. This deck mills pretty fast. And of course, one Honest. You're playing Lightsworn, so you gotta play that. Now for the Flamvell engine. 2 Flamvell Fire Dog. Obviously, 1900 Beat Stick. This is how you're gonna special summon a lot of your Flamvell stuff. Get them in the grave quick. So I would have liked to play this at 3, but can't fit it in the deck. The deck already runs 24 monsters, so one Magician, one Neo Flamvell Shaman, and this is interesting because you need, from my playtesting experience with this deck, you need to have level 3s for the Flamvells, both tuner and non-tuner. So I do play a Shaman and a Flamvell Archer. This is your tuner, this is your non-tuner, and it's actually kind of necessary in the deck. So you gotta play it like that. One Origin. This guy's really good in the deck. Anytime if I summon, like first turn, if I summon a Fire Dog, I can special summon this because it's first turn, your opponent doesn't have any cards in their grave. And then I can sink for level 6 and put those 2 guys in the grave. So that's really good. One Flamvell Babies, your level 1 tuner, and one Flamvell Pound, another level 1. And this is actually very key because Flamvell Pound not only searches all the Flamvells, he'll also search Lila, and he will search Plague Spreader. So this guy's really good. Then we go Card Trooper, double Necro Gardener because you mill a lot, and this guy really saves your butt, especially because, well, you'll see in a sec. And then one Plague Spreader. So that's the monster count, 24 monsters. Now we play spells, 16 spells. I don't play any traps in the deck. I find that traps in this deck make it a little slow, and I really want to play this deck fast. So, and most of the time you're gonna just mill off your traps anyway. So 2 Solar Recharge. You might be wondering why I'm not playing 3. Honestly, 3 creates dead draws. It does a lot because there have been times where, like, if playing 3 of these, I draw 2 of them, and then the only monsters in my hands are like Flamvell monsters. It happens. So that's why playing it at 2 makes it way more consistent. One Charge, key card, very key. 3 Rekindling. I hate when this card gets milled, but this card is so key to you winning. Like, if you draw Rekindling or multiples of them, you're pretty much gonna win. Like, you're gonna have game because This card creates combos upon combos that your opponent just can't come back from. One Foolish Burial is very important. Two Monster Reincarnations, and this card right here happens to be very key in the deck. You don't understand how many times I draw a Necro Gardener or a Plague Spreader and I want to get rid of it. If you got Flamvells, if you need to get rid of that 4th Lightsworn for JD, this card is so good. Monster Reincarnation. One Pot of Avarice, because you mill so fast that this card is very good. Mind Control, you do play a lot of tuners, so of course this card is good. Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Double Space, and 1 Heavy, and that's your back row removal, which is obviously important. Now we're going to go into the side deck. So for the side deck, we have Chimera Tech, Double Cyber Dragon, Double Crow. Crow is extremely important in Lightsworn decks. I don't know why, I just always want to have this, especially certain matches, so that's really good. One Blacklisted Soldier, and I don't main deck this because the only darks I run is Gores, Plague, and 2 Necro Gardeners, and I really don't want to remove the Necro Gardeners or the Plague for this guy. I mean, I would, obviously, but if I side into 2 DD Crows, then Blacklisted Soldier goes in, so that's pretty good. 2 Maxi, Double Thunder King, Double Veiler, 1 Smashing Ground, 2 Bottomless for the Dino Rabbit matchup, and that's our side deck. Now we go into the extra deck, and the extra deck can be upon preference, but this is what I prefer to play. This seems to be the most consistent for me. So for the Exceeds, I got 1 Leviair. This allows you to bring back your Necro Gardeners or your Plague Spreader that got removed from play, so that's really good. 1 Leviathan Dragon in case you need a rank 3 that can attack over stuff. 1 Utopia. Level 4 negates attacks. That's it for the Exceeds. That's pretty much all I could fit in here, so I put the ones that I thought would be the most beneficial. Now for the Synchros, 1 Formula Synchron, and this is pretty easy to get. If you do a Rekindling play and you have a Flamvel Baby and Flamvel Pound, you can just get this guy. Armory Arm, Catastor, Librarian, because you're going to want to go into Librarian if you get a Rekindling or 2 Rekindlings, because then you can just go off, literally go off. So this is really good to have in the deck. Bryo, Black Rose, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Red Dragon Archfiend, and I'm going to get into why I play this in a second. 1 Stardust Dragon, 1 Trishula, obviously really easy with Rekindling. 1 Shooting Star Dragon, and 1 Red Nova Dragon. And Red Nova is extremely easy to get out in this deck, and most people don't play this card because they think that it's too hard to summon. But honestly, this is like a Shooting Star Dragon on crack. This guy's effect is way better, in my opinion. You know, basically he's 3500 attack, and he can't be destroyed by spell, traps, or monster effects. And then if your opponent declares an attack, you can remove this card from play to negate the attack, and at the end phase he comes back. So that's just nuts. I've actually brought this guy out and him have 6000 attack. So obviously I just attacked for game and that was it. But this is because he gains 500 for every tuner in the grave. Like, this guy has so many good effects that it's just unbelievable. And playing with this, I realized that any deck you can make this guy, you should play him because it's really good. And pretty much you need to do this with the Flamvells mostly, but you can do it with Plague if you have it. So you know, you need your Flamvel tuners and pretty much that. So you activate Rekindling. And let's just say you have Fire Dog, Magician, Archer, and Baby. You can pretty much just do this like really easy. You sync the Magician and Fire Dog for this, and now you have 2 tuners here that equal 4. So you can just sync all of this together and very easily bring Red Nova Dragon on the field. And with this, you already know that you have at least 3 tuners, so he's gaining 1500 attack just off of what you just did. So then he's now at 5000 attack with all those great abilities. You know, another way to do this, depending on what you have, is if you have Origin in the grave and you know, Magician and a Fire Dog, and you have Plague in the grave, you play Rekindling, you get these 3, you bring the Plague back, and once again you sync for Red Dragon, and then you have level 2s, which equals 4, and you can go at it like this. Other ways to do it, you put baby and pound, you get formula synchron, and you have another level 2. It's just too many different combos to get red Nova Dragon. So guys, please try this deck out. You will not be, you will be so surprised that this deck is just that good. Like, literally, I surprised everybody. When this guy comes on the field, everybody's like, what the hell? So try this deck out. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, YouTube, peace.